If I'm being honest about We Love You Bunny, I would say it died under the weight of my own expectations. And that might be on me, but was one of my most anticipated books of 2025. And boy, that anticipation went to waste, all right? There are 3 books in this world that I am a shooter for. I'm a shooter. If you say a bad thing about those books in my presence, I have to fight the urge to be like, no, this is where you're wrong. Those books are My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh, I Who Have Never Known Man by Jacqueline Hartman, and Bunny by Mona Awad. Those are my 3 controversial faves, all right? So when We Love You Bunny was coming out, I knew that I was gonna love it, but boy, do I not know nothing about nothing, all right? This book was over 500 pages long, and it was probably about 200 pages too long. This is a sequel to Bunny, in which Samantha comes to her home, to like her school town, for a book tour. Everything that happens in Bunny is presented to us as if it's a novel, as if Bunny is a novel that Samantha wrote, all right? And so now the bunnies are seeking revenge on Samantha for what they seem as disparaging of their characters. My issue with this book, my first issue with this book is it was so repetitive. Oh my gosh, it was the entire first third of the book was the bunnies recounting the same events over and over and over in increasingly irritating ways. We weren't getting new information. This was all information that we got in the book, okay? The most interesting parts is when we kind of navigate with a new character. I forget his name, but yeah, we navigate with him, but even his sections felt very, very lengthy, and also it feels like the characters don't really move forward. If you had told me that this book was written by a Mona Awad scholar, I would have believed you. I would not have said that Captain Mona herself wrote this. I found the book to just be a grueling practice, and I actually had to force myself to finish it because I was like, I'm not going to leave that NetGalley review until I finish this novel. And I finished it and I gave it 2 stars. I did not have a good time, and I love Mona Awad. Like All's Well and Bunny are 2 of my favorite novels. I think that the thing that makes Bunny so successful is that I think it stands really well as a piece of commentary, and also as a sequence of events that are odd and unsettling and really, really strange. But We Love You Bunny kind of, it's sort of, what's the word? Not subverts, but it sort of abandons the commentary section and feels as if it's just a piece of literature that exists to be weird, and that is just not my experience with Mona Awad's work in general. So I was deeply disappointed by it, which is really sad because it's one of my favorite novels. But yes.